Live and local with coverage you can count on. This is My TV5 News at 7.
The cold continues. While it has warmed up a little from our lows today, it's not enough to make any real difference.
Temperatures at this hour are still just barely above zero, and they won't be getting much warmer anytime soon. Thanks for watching My TV5 News at 7 and streaming on WNEM.com. I'm David Custer.
And I'm Meg McLeod. The air temperature is just half the battle, with the wind chill making it almost impossible to be outside. Meteorologist Brian Bachman has been tracking this pocket of cold weather all week long. He joins us now from the First Warn 5 Weather Center. Hey, Brian.
Hi there, David and Meg. I think we're running out of different ways to tell you just how cold it really is. Obviously, still well into that dangerous category. As you saw the wind chills there at the top of the show, anywhere between 10 to 20 below, even still this evening. And we anticipate that to continue. So really not the kind of night that you want to be outside, certainly for any prolonged periods. But if you have to do any traveling this evening, just make sure you bundle up, cover up completely, hands, scarf, hats, you name it. Break out all the winter accessories. Let's get you updated again on some of those wind chills tonight. 16 below the current real feel in Saginaw. Feels like 13 below right now as you head to the city of Flint. 15 below for Caro, Alma, and Bad Axe this evening. And you head farther to the north and west, Houghton Lake. Brutal, I don't even think does it justice. Feels like 21 degrees below zero. And these wind chill values will stay largely in this range as we head into the overnight period. The saving grace, if there is one, is that the winds will back off a little bit. However, the air temperatures are likely going to more than compensate for that. Clear skies rolling in across Saginaw and Bay City. The air temp in Bay City now down to 1 below, right at the 0 degree mark for Saginaw, but the wind chills, as we show you there, down into the negative teens at this point. 1 below for both Flint and Midland, under a clear sky there as well. At least the drier air working in is helping to kind of keep the snow showers out of the mix, but those clearing skies are really going to allow what little heat there even was to begin with to just radiate away. And we'll see what it does to our temperatures here. By 8 o'clock, we're mostly clear. Northwest winds still at about 10 to 15, down to -3 by then, 8 below as we hit the 11 o'clock hour tonight under a mostly clear sky. And by 2 a.m., it just doesn't get any better, down to 11 below by then. We'll break down all the numbers and let you know when some weekend relief is headed our way, coming up in your full forecast.
Brian, thank you. And the cold forced a number of area schools to shut down yet again today.
As schools continue to call off class, and with it being too dangerous to be outside for very long, fighting off the cabin fever can be a challenge. TV5's James Felton reports.
Oh, it's pretty nice in here.
Chris Hicks is co-owner of Clio Bowling Arcade. We caught up with the league in action, knocking down pins, racking up points, staying out of temperatures hovering around zero.
Coffee's hot. Good friends.
Good friends like Vicky Hollow.
I'm glad I'm not out there. It's too cold.
Cold is what kept many schools throughout Genesee County closed today. Hollow's nephew Ben likes having the day off from class, but this weather, not so much.
You like the cold weather?
No!
A sentiment shared by Jenny Severn, who just flew in from the Sunshine State.
It was definitely much warmer in Florida.
Severn says even in Florida, there's no escaping the cold, relatively speaking anyways.
They had a wind chill advisory down in Northport telling people to bring their pets in because the wind chill was going to be 30 degrees.
Hicks tells us this cold weather is great for business.
It'll be a big increase because we don't usually have hardly anything. So, yeah, whatever comes in is good.
Besides making a few extra bucks, Hicks also got some bonus time with her granddaughter Alexis, thanks to no school. And with the forecast calling for even colder temperatures tonight, there's the possibility of school closures tomorrow. If that happens, Hicks would like to see you at her bowling alley.
Hey, come on out. We're open. It's warm inside.
Reporting in Genesee County, James Felton, My TV5 News at 7.
Across the area, more than 200 schools were closed today.
And earlier today, we wanted to know how you were staying warm during this extreme weather. Well, Robert is a road worker and sent this picture of him bundled up head to toe.
And Michael sent us this picture saying she is wrapped up in a blanket, and it certainly doesn't look like she's coming out anytime soon.
And Eric sent us this photo that says it all: seat heaters on full blast. Well, we want to see how you're coping. Just head over to the TV5 Facebook page and share your photo.
Developing tonight, local police are asking for your help in finding a missing woman. Police say Marsha Woolard was last seen in the 900 block of Martin Luther King Boulevard on Thursday, February 12th. They say Marsha is 43 years old, stands about 5'4" and weighs 140 pounds. Some more information on Woolard: she has shoulder-length blonde hair. She has a cherry tattoo on her chest and tattoos on both of her legs. She was last seen wearing a black coat and blue Nike shoes. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Multiple fire departments had to respond to a grease fire in Saginaw County today. The fire started in the kitchen of Flattery's Bar in Hemlock around 11:30 this morning. The fire was contained to the fryer thanks to the quick response of local firefighters.
Not a whole lot of damage, just contained right to the fryer and the hood vent. So the owner said they will be up and operating by Monday morning.
Moore says that they put it out in about 10 minutes.
I thought at least they would put a motion on the floor and accept the recommendation and then actually vote.
For Saginaw Schools and Superintendent Kelly Petros, it's back to square one after the school board decided to not even vote on her recommendation to close Saginaw High. The decision not to vote doesn't change the fact that Saginaw Public Schools still have a multi-million-dollar budget deficit. So what happens next? TV5's Faith Gantner reports.
Extremely surprised. I thought at least they would put a motion on the floor and accept the recommendation and then actually vote. So I was quite surprised that that did not occur last night.
Interim Superintendent Kelly Petros stunned by the inaction of the school board. You might call it a vote, no vote to close Saginaw High School.
What that means then is we have to find $300,000+ someplace else to cut in the budget, and I don't know where that's coming from.
Right now, the district faces a $4.1 million deficit. Once the sale of the former Buena Vista High School is finalized, Saginaw Schools will be closer to wiping out its debt. But Petra says that's still not enough, and she believes the school board should have made the tough choice to close Saginaw High.
It would probably get us pretty close to being even, but that does not get us out of the woods. I mean, we still have financial difficulties because we continue to receive fewer dollars from the state.
Closing one of the high schools was part of the district's state-approved deficit elimination plan. Now Saginaw Schools must find a new way to save money.
Is a part of our current deficit elimination plan. The board actually voted on that when my predecessor was here.
Petra says the board reversed itself last night because it had previously voted to close a high school. Now she says the ball is in their court to figure out what the revised deficit elimination plan should look like.
I think I would defer that question to the board. Since they made the decision not to accept the recommendation, what do they deem as next steps for the district?
Reporting from Saginaw, Faith Gantner, My TV5 News at 7.
According to Petros, there's no timetable for when the board will take up this issue again.
Police have arrested a man they believe pulled the trigger in a 2013 shooting. Flint police say U.S. Marshals have arrested Aaron Prim in Texas. Prim was wanted on charges stemming from a shooting back in September of 2013 on Woodhall Drive. The victim survived the shooting. Prosecutors are charging Prim with attempted murder.
And Mount Pleasant police have arrested 2 women on heroin and weapons charges. Officers say they pulled the 2 over yesterday and discovered the driver had a suspended license. When they searched the car, they found needles and heroin, as well as knives and mace. The driver, Christy Posthumus, is facing multiple drug charges, and prosecutors are charging the passenger, Audrey Shipman, with carrying a concealed weapon.
The state's highest law enforcement agency says the names of Oakley's controversial reserve police force should be released. It's continuing coverage on a story we have been following almost a year now. TV5's Gino Vici has more on what this means legally for the village and the police chief who has fought to keep those names private.
Well, the many lawsuits that have nearly bankrupted and caused the village to lose its insurance policy all began because of trying to protect those names of the reserve officers. But now with this new opinion from the AG's office, Police Chief Rob Resnick and the village may be forced to release those names. A simple request to release the names of the unusually large and controversial reserve police force in the village of Oakley has led to huge financial losses, dysfunction within village government. It's even led to trustees suing each other. The result? A village with no insurance and an on-again, off-again police force. According to Oakley's police chief, Rob Resnick, the purpose of creating this reserve unit in a town of about 300 was to bring much-needed revenue and provide assistance to the village's part-time police force. On the flip side, Resnick stated the reserve police unit provided an opportunity for philanthropists to make a difference in a community that struggled to generate revenue. A Freedom of Information Act request, also known as a FOIA, is a tool for citizens to get access to information about their government. However, some information is exempt from being disclosed. That includes some functions of a police force. But as this saga has unfolded in a Saginaw County courtroom, there has been much question about whether or not Oakley reservists are legally defined as law enforcement officials, thus making their names exempt from public disclosure. A Saginaw County judge previously ruled the reservist names were protected from being disclosed. That decision was appealed. A Michigan appeals court reversed the ruling. And recently, the state attorney general's office has even weighed in. Their opinion sides with releasing the names. In a matter of weeks, Saginaw County Judge Robert Kazmarek says he will consider the AG's opinion in determining whether or not those reservist names should be released. Now, this case has huge implications because there are no cases like it in the state of Michigan, so that means this ruling could be used as case law for any future legal issues surrounding reserve police officers. Reporting in the newsroom, Gino Vici, MyTV5 News at 7.
All right, Gino, thank you. And as we said earlier, this has been a story we have been telling you about since last March. For a look back at the past I-Team investigations into this controversy, just head on over to WNEM.com.
Police officers frequently say their canine dogs are just as much a part of the force as they are.
Yeah, still ahead at 6, what a local police department did today to make sure their canine gets the same amount of protection.
Plus, where you can experience the most entertaining 8 seconds in sports right here in mid-Michigan.
You are watching MyTV5 News at 7, serving Goodrich, Cass City, Burton, and your hometown too.
It's coverage you can count on.